Just up ahead of us on either side, there's some light brown structures over the water. Air ventilation. Coming to the first underwater automotive tunnel in the world from 1927. A man by the name of Clifford Holland, first guy to figure out how to clear carbon monoxide out of an enclosed space. Air is recycled every 90 seconds in the mile and a half. So clear over the top of that, the big silver building in the background left with a black patch. New hotel over in Soho. Just up ahead on our left is a winged white canopy. It's a ferry boat landing. As we come up to it, we'll get a look at the steelwork of a new building going up at the World Trade Center. World Trade location is up ahead on our left. Now you can see some of the cranes off the front of the ship left over in the street. It's this side of the canopy. The steelwork is red in color. There's about 12 floors up, a bunch of white lights in amongst the steelwork. And that is the new single tower that's going up, almost 3 years away from completion. The original World Trade Center had 7 buildings. The new World Trade will have 5 of them. And the turning white boat in front of the street on the left, if you go down that street to its left, there's a silver rectangular tower in the background. That's the only building of World Trade that's been completely rebuilt. Again, we'll talk about that in a moment. Here's the open space for the Twin Towers, past the winged white canopy. Small, curvy, dark glass building. The space right behind it is that taken of Tower 1 of World Trade. You can see the yellow tip of a crane back there, this side of the black building, which would have been out of your sight. The ship, the Zephyr, is crossing right over the empty space taken by the first tower struck at 8:46 that morning. Now if you come downriver, right over the top of the rising steam, you can see some of the cranes. You'll see more of them. This is the Tower 2 location. Tower 2 stood right over the top of the flags here on our left, and in front of the black buildings in the background. So the cranes working, the steelwork rising, Tower 1 to the left, Tower 2, more cranes visible to the right. Tower 1, the first one to be struck, and Tower 2, the first one to fall. That's ground zero, midships left. Now the original World Trade Center had 7 buildings, 2 big tall ones, 5 smaller ones. The new World Trade will have 5 buildings, 2 fewer because of the new Memorial Garden. Only one has been completely rebuilt. The Silver Building towers 7 and 52 floors. Again, we're about 3 years away from completion here. This waterfront here on our left is the evacuation area for ground zero. About 500,000 people were pulled to safety by boat there that day. The greatest maritime evacuation ever. We're leaving the river here at the Colgate Clock, the big clock on our right, all that remains of an old manufacturing plant from the early 1900s. And we're headed into the harbor for the Statue of Liberty. Again, our first pass is going to be close in on the right side of the ship. It's a cold day, so if you come to the front cabin upstairs, do feel free to use the windowed areas around the stairway for photography. We'll ask when we clear that to use it only briefly, but do feel free to stand there at this point. Now, coming up on our right, pretty red brick building, steeple up the center. It's not a church, it's not Ellis Island. This building is the Central Jersey Transport Terminal, a building that made Ellis Island what it is. Those folks coming into any port of entry are not sticking around. They're going somewhere else. If you can provide transportation, they're going to come to you. In our case, that's what happened here. 4 out of 5, or 80% of the tens of millions of immigrants coming to Ellis Island never set foot in New York at all. Here for transportation. They came to the building at the right at the rate of over 50,000 people every day. Shut down now. It's on the waterfront here in Jersey City, New Jersey, Liberty State Park. We're passing a canal here to the right, so this is not an island where that building is located, part of the Jersey coastline. New Jersey will stay on our right until we make the turn after the Statue of Liberty. Staten Island, New York, straight ahead of us. Big Verrazano Bridge is up to our left, about 4 miles out. The first island coming up ahead on the right, that's Ellis Island, the big white water tank.
Right,